Welcome, dear listeners, to the Speak and Flow podcast, where we dive into unique experiences to help you and your team achieve maximum potential and flow. I am so excited for our guest today. He's got so much wisdom to share. He's the Director of Business Innovation at UC Berkeley and an academic entrepreneur, Oguzhan Aygoren. Hi, Oguzhan.
Hi, Melinda. Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here. We're going to have some juicy, fun topic all around vision and why it's so important for us to have a big vision. But before we get into that, can you share with the audience more about some of your passionate projects right now, or what you love about what you're doing?
Thank you. Actually, I like to call myself as an academic entrepreneur because I'm in the academic setting, but I feel like an entrepreneur. I mean, since my childhood, and my passion is actually to, first of all, to become an entrepreneur and to make other people an entrepreneur. And having a bold vision is actually a big part of becoming an entrepreneur. So that's what I would like to bring in other people and other companies as well, bringing out the vision, the inspiration, and also the connection with other things.
That's so powerful. I think that's so important because a lot of times people are bored, they're just overworked. And so I love bringing the vision, the inspiration, and the connection into our work. And starting with the vision, can you tell the audience, what does that mean for you? And what is a vision?
Yeah, sure. I mean, a vision is different than a goal. We mostly talk about our goals, and also when we talk about our visions, sometimes it is mixed with goals as well. I mean, how I define the goals and vision is like, goals are mostly short-term, they are tangible, and it can be planned. So what I mean is, you know how to achieve that goal. So it's already written. I mean, you just execute, you just follow the plan. If you follow the plan, you can achieve the goal. However, the vision is scary, but at the same time, it is exciting. That's why it's juicy, as you say. I mean, it needs to excite you, but at the same time, it scares you. Why it scares you? Because you don't know how to achieve it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scary part. You don't know how to achieve it. That's the, I think, number one thing which separates vision from the goal. For the goals, you know how to achieve it. You can achieve it with practice. You can achieve it with excellence. But with vision, you can, I mean, you don't know what to do. How can you practice it? You need to explore it. It requires exploration. It requires going into the unknown. For example, you can have a big goal like climbing Mount Everest. It's a big goal. Not everyone can do it, but you can achieve it. Or you can get a gold medal in the Olympics. It's a hard goal, but you can achieve it by practicing. But with the vision, you can say, I'm like Elon Musk, I'd like to go to Mars. Nobody has ever gone to Mars. I mean, nobody has done it before. So you don't know how to do it. How can you practice? You need to start from somewhere. A goal is just a beginning point of that vision. A vision is a collection of goals, but you just don't know yet which goals you need to accomplish in order to turn that vision into something. You need to explore it. You need to discover it. So that's the most exciting thing to me. And it's the most challenging thing because, I mean, in your life, if you're always full of goals, if you're always full of plans, if you have a full agenda, you are fully booked every day. Actually, you have already lived your life. I mean, you just executed. I mean, it's just, where is the fun part of it?
And most people just do that. Like, no, I mean, I don't know that many people that have a big vision like Elon Musk or big vision like Ford, right? To bring something big and different into the world. And what is the reason? Like, what happens when we don't have this big vision?
Yeah, when we don't have this big vision, it's like actually we just live to work. It's like, okay, I just work, I make money, I pay my bills, I pay my check. It's like it feels like you cannot control the outside world. It's just you are just trying to make the living. I mean, it just feels like you feel some emptiness. I think that's one of the problems that we live right now in the world. People just do something because there is a career path given in front of us. And that's how I felt when I started my work. And before academia, my first job was at a corporate PNG. And at first, I was really unhappy when I started the job because I mean, they told me, okay, this is the career path you need to follow. But I said, I don't want to follow that path. I mean, I was just scared the day I started the job. Oh my God, I don't want to be one of those people in 20 years, in 30 years time. I would like to create my own path. It requires that you need to follow the unknown. You need to be willing to explore the unknown paths and willing to create your path. I think it's more like living a way of and living the life of an artist. An artist, actually, artists don't have plans. Artists just create beautiful drawings, beautiful music, beautiful art coming from their heart, just driven by their feelings, intuition, or just their excitement, passion. So I think we need to bring that creative side of that into our own lives. What most of us lack is this creativity part of it, because we are scared of it. I mean, all the education system, all the world is telling us that, okay, you need to find a stable job, you need to get a stable income, you need to pay the bills. Okay, this is what I need to. It's all logical, but I mean, it's not living life as a real human being. I mean, it's just like living within the limits, living within the range that is given to you. But in order to go beyond that, you need to have a life vision for yourself as an individual, or as a company. You need to have a vision for yourself. So what else can I achieve? What would be the most fun thing? What would be the most exciting thing that I can do? And that's what great entrepreneurs do. I think there is a lot we can learn from those entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs combine this passion of the artist, the creative side of the artist, with the execution side of the business, and they bring us this great inventions of our time, like ChatGPT, like Tesla, like Uber, like Airbnb. These are all crazy ideas which was once visions in the brains of the entrepreneurs, but now being experienced by every one of us.
Right. And so you're suggesting that even if you're in a corporate environment with a clear career path, to still bring in the creativity by having a big vision for yourself. Bring it in anyways, just because you have a direct career path. If you do not, I mean, just having a big vision, what could that do for someone? Well, first, how can they go about doing that? And what could that do if they did do that? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. It's like, in that case, I think an employee, a student, or anyone can become an entrepreneur. So you don't have to start your own company to become an entrepreneur. Anyone can become an entrepreneur just by thinking more entrepreneurial, just by embracing this mindset. And it starts with having a vision for yourself, being courageous, taking the steps towards it, by embracing the unknown and the uncertainty of it, and just by listening to your feelings. And let me tell you my story. When I first started, I mean, I just said I started my corporate job and I was unhappy. And let me tell you how I broke out of it. Once there was a meeting, and in that meeting they asked, okay, I mean, anyone can present voluntarily anything you want, and I volunteered for the presentation. And so they said, okay, what are you going to present? I said, I'd like to present something about innovation. And at that time, P&G was the seventh most innovative company in the world, and it was on the cover of Business Week. And the first slide of my presentation was that. Okay, everyone was like, okay, bragging about it. Okay, we are the seventh most innovative company. But then I had a very provocating presentation by saying, I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I'm working for the seventh most innovative company in the world. I feel like there's a certain path. It's like people are telling me what to do, and I don't want to do that. And I provocatively presented my ideas why I feel like that. And at the end of the presentation, I was just willing to accept willing to accept the worst thing that could happen. And the worst thing I was thinking of was like, okay, they could fire me just because of my presentation at the end of the day. But what happened after the presentation was like, hey, Oguzhan, I mean, why don't you work on this stuff? So I was a junior. It was my first year in job right out of college. And after that, I started working with the general manager. And later I learned that general manager was looking for something to work on innovation, but he had nobody to work on that. And later I realized I was telling the right thing at the right time to the right audience, but I did not know that. I just took the leap by not knowing, because I felt like I had to tell this. I had to present my feelings about it, and I was ready to face with any consequence, the worst being losing my job. I was willing to lose my job by telling the truth that I felt inside myself. So by willing to take the step, by willing to voice your feelings and opinions about what makes you uncomfortable about your job. Okay, I think this is one of the first steps that you can do at your job. If you are uncomfortable, you can just say, instead of complaining, you can just tell what works well and what doesn't work well, and how it can be improved. And also you can ask questions like, what would the ideal case look like? In the ideal situation, what would I be doing? What would this company be doing? I think this is the path how we can find the vision, both for ourselves and both for the companies that we are working for.
Right. Versus doing what they prescribe you to do, and it's so automatic because everybody they have their clear roles, clear tasks. But then at the same time, you have a vision. If you continue to ask, what is my vision? What was that question that you just said? What is the ideal? What is the
ideal situation
here? Keep asking that. And if it's not in alignment with what you're doing, like you said, say something about it, right? You never know who you're going to meet, who the audience is that needs your help.
Yeah, actually, because if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Yes. And if you don't define what's the ideal situation, then you don't even get to ask.
And that's true. And when you define this ideal situation, or even this crazy idea, it becomes your direction for the big vision. It shows you the direction. It shows you the path. Maybe you create the path. You just draw the path by yourself, by walking on the path. But it is your light which enlightens that path, which is a guide for you. I mean, the vision is your guide by building and following the path. And while doing that, I mean, there is no clear out map which shows you which step you will take. So while doing that, you need to be willing to ask forgiveness instead of asking permission.
Right, because you're on to do big things, and along the way we're going to not be perfect. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be challenging. But that's when you know that you're doing things that stretch you, and you might need to ask for permission or a forgiveness. You might need to ask for forgiveness.
That's true.
I love that.
That's true.
But that's the meaning of life. Like that's what brings excitement in our life.
That's true. Of course. I mean, I think, it's like this is what I realized lately. It's like before, I mean, you said, I mean, it is the meaning of life. This is the big questions in life. First, you don't think about in your 20s or 30s. You don't think about those kind of questions. You're like, okay, well, what's gonna happen to me? Am I going to have a good career? Am I going to achieve that? I mean, you have those of these questions, and you like to achieve things, and you like to change the world. I mean, if the world doesn't change, you complain about it. You just say that people don't understand you. But after that stage in your 40s, you tend to
Right.
realize that, oh my God, in order to change the world, first I need to change myself.
I agree.
And once you change yourself, you realize that the world changes automatically based on your view of the world.
I agree. I agree. Right. Versus complain, hey, change ourselves, change our, like, have more responsibility and ownership in the creation of the ideal situation. And then the world will change and align itself to support you.
I mean, it's like actually Einstein saying, logic takes us from A to B, but
Yeah.
imagination takes us anywhere. So, I mean, most people do not imagine what is possible. I mean, even when I ask people, okay, what's your vision? What's your imagination? People say that, okay, I would do that, but it's impossible to do. Hey, come on. I mean, how do you know that it's impossible? I mean, you did not even attempt to imagine something out of it. So it's like, this is what great entrepreneurs do. When you imagine even the impossible, you see that impossible becomes possible. That's the beauty of having a big vision. That's what we can learn from Google, Amazon, all those companies. I mean, that's what they teach us. Because when you have big vision, you realize that nobody knows nothing. I mean, everyone knows something, but everyone knows something to make something better, but not something which is thought impossible. And we can apply this thinking into our daily lives. We don't have to start the new Google. We don't have to be billion-dollar companies. We can apply it into our own lives, even working for a company. That's the big idea that I have that I'd like to share with people.
This is a good segue. So what is that leadership golden takeaway? That one that you wanted to share with the world?
Yeah, that leadership goal is everyone is an entrepreneur. I'm not saying can be an entrepreneur, is an entrepreneur, because I mean, once we are in life, being a human being means that you need to own your own life. And it means becoming an entrepreneur. But not everyone is aware of that. I want everyone to become aware of that they are entrepreneurs of their own lives. Yeah. Everyone can design their own life. Everyone can have a big vision for their own life. And when you apply it, when you imagine it, you'll see the results. And once your vision is in line with the company that you are working with, you can see that you can realize that you are not an ordinary employee. You can imagine yourself as the CEO of the company. So what would you do if you were the CEO? You should ask these questions to yourself, and then maybe one day you become the CEO, or maybe one day you are the one who start your own company. But you don't have to start from there. Just imagine yourself as if you are the founder, as if you are the CEO, and start from your own life. And then you will see that it will grow from inward to outside. So it's something you start within yourself, and then you will see that it grows like a drop in the water.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. I think people should save this episode, listen to it every single morning on their way to work. And then you will see yourself grow and expand and make change, positive change in the world, in the company, in the world, and within yourself, in your own life, to be happier and more fulfilled. Yeah, Oguzhan, that was amazing. Thank you so much for your time, your inspiration. I got a lot out of it today. My goal and my vision is to change the way this world communicates. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I believe when I keep talking about it, I'm going to have all the right people support to help me through it. And so just like you coming into my world. So I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Melinda, for the invitation. I enjoyed a lot.
I had a great time. Thank you so much. Bye, listeners. Until next time, I'm your sister in flow. May prosperity flow to you and through you to others. I'll see you at the next episode. Bye. Thank you. Thanks for joining the conversation today. Are you curious on how you measure up with your ability to speak in flow? Come grab my free self-assessment at https://speakinflow.com/assessment. And I'll see you on the other side.